हेलो नीतीश, सबसे पहले कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन आपको।
थैंक यू सर।
मतलब ड्रीम होता है सभी लोगों का यूपीएससी क्लियर करना। सो आपने किया, तो सबसे पहले तो मैं यही पूछना चाहता हूँ, मतलब कैसा फील कर रहे हैं आप?
Sir, I'm feeling very good. It was in 2020 that I dreamt of becoming an IFS officer,
ओके।
and today I've secured that rank, which will enable me to get a service. So I think it's a dream come true.
जब ये स्टार्ट किया था एग्जाम, तो मतलब आपने सोचा था कि आप इस रैंक तक आएंगे, ये रैंक आप अचीव कर पाएंगे?
No, to be honest, even in this attempt, I thought that I would be getting a three-digit rank, but to get a double-digit rank to be in the top 100, I think it's a miracle.
You just said कि you would like to ask you कि what are the things you done कि आपको 3 डिजिट से सीधा प्रमोशन होके आप 2 डिजिट में, मतलब कुछ तो आपने स्पेशल स्ट्रैटेजी अपनाई होगी।
Yeah. So two-digit also I was expecting around 150 to 100, not less than that. So I just been getting 50-60 rank high. So I think the marks are not yet out, but I think my interview went really well. So I think that played a very good role, I think.
Okay. So interview played a very good role to get this rank in the 2-digit
Yeah.
exam.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it your first attempt or second or third?
No, this is my fifth attempt.
This is your fifth attempt?
Fifth attempt, yes.
Okay.
Fifth
So
attempt, second interview. Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me like a brief journey of first, second, third, and fourth attempt?
So in 2018, I gave this attempt of prelims.
2018.
So it was just a casual attempt. So
Okay.
I had just studied for 1 month. So it was just to get a feel of the exam. And 19 was my first real attempt. In that, I reached the mains, but couldn't qualify the mains.
Okay.
And in 2020, I cleared the mains, reached the interview, but couldn't make it to the finalist. And in 21, because the results were out very late, so I couldn't clear the prelims. So now in 22, I got the rank.
So you just told me that in 2021 you are not able to clear the prelims.
Yeah.
So आपको मतलब मैं जानना चाहूंगा कि in the previous attempts you like almost you reach up to the interview and suddenly next attempt में आपका prelims नहीं होता, तो at that point of time क्या आपको कैसा फील हुआ? आप डिप्रेस नहीं हुए? मतलब कुछ ऐसा नेगेटिव आपके अंदर नहीं आया? आपने अपने को कैसे बैक किया? हाउ एग्जैक्टली, आई जस्ट वांट टू आस्क यू कि हाउ एग्जैक्टली यू बैक योरसेल्फ एंड आप दोबारा सीन में आए एंड यू बैंग ऑन।
So 29th October, I remember 29th October 2021, the results of prelims 21 were out, and I had already failed the interview of 22. So when the results came, so I was naturally depressed. I left my PG and I went home in my village, and I lived there for 2 months. And my family backed me, my parents and my brother, they backed me, they supported me. And in January 22, I came back to Delhi, and I'm living with my brother, who is actually very supportive of this journey. So I changed my strategy in prelims because last time I didn't prepare well because the results were out very late, and I was not taking prelims very seriously. This time I prepared it very extensively. I gave around 20 mock tests, and I analyzed each and every one of them. And I used to ensure that my score is around 110 or 120, not below that.
Okay.
So that is why.
When you said that कि in 2022 you prepared for the prelims very extensively. So the term extensively ये क्या डिनोट करता है कि आपने मॉक ज्यादा दिया या you also like आपने कुछ और चीजें हैं इसके अंदर में ऐड ऑन किया? मतलब जस्ट मॉक टेस्ट था या कुछ और भी आप स्ट्रैटेजी के अंदर में चेंज किया? मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, आई वांट टू आस्क यू बिकॉज अभी प्रीलिम्स बिल्कुल पास है, प्रीलिम्स आ रहा है, तो हो सकता है कि जो बच्चे हैं एस्पिरेंट हैं उनको कुछ हेल्प मिले इससे।
Yeah. So actually, this time I assumed that I'm a beginner. That's it.
Okay.
And I'm a beginner. I have given an interview, but I'm a beginner in prelims. So I started from the scratch. I bought new books which had new edition, like Singhania for Culture. I bought them, I read them line by line, and I prepared like a beginner. And I prepared each and everything. So I didn't leave anything at chance. So I prepared every source thoroughly, and I gave every test very seriously. So that was my strategy this time.
Okay. So थोड़ा मैं जानना चाहूंगा आपके ग्रेजुएशन के बारे में कि लाइक बैकग्राउंड क्या था, आपने ग्रेजुएशन या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन, तो थोड़ा सा वो भी तो क्लैरिटी अपने को मिलेगी कि आपका बैकग्राउंड क्या था, तो किस सब्जेक्ट के अंदर में आपका स्पेशलाइजेशन है और किस में आपको हेल्प मिली इस एग्जामिनेशन के अंदर.
So in 2018, I completed my graduation in metallurgical and materials engineering.
Okay.
From IIT.
Okay.
So yeah, so that is my graduation. But I took chemistry as my optional because my engineering subject is not offered as an optional. So I took chemistry because I liked it at the time of JEE. So that was the strategy.
Okay, I want to ask you one thing that you just said कि आपने IIT रुड़की से बीटेक अपना कंप्लीट किया है.
Yeah.
So, एक नोशन रहता है कि लाइक जो IIT से होते हैं, जो IIM से होते हैं, they are the like bright students. So क्या वो भी आपको क्या हेल्प किया है उसने, मतलब उस चीज ने हेल्प किया, या एक कॉमन बैकग्राउंड से आके भी हम UPSC क्रैक कर सकते हैं?
So I think I've taken many attempts to clear this exam. And the fact that I'm from IIT and I took so many attempts speaks volumes about the fact that there is no guarantee that you are from an IIT and you will be able to clear it, you know. So I think a person from a very average background can also clear it, given that he has a good strategy, is practicing good mocks in prelims as well as mains, and also he has good mentorship. I think that can help because I didn't have any mentorship. So my first two attempts were very bad due to lack of mentorship. I didn't have any idea about this exam.
So actually, exactly from where did you prepare? Your preparation sources is like you go in the some offline institutes and then prepared, or you prepared onlinely or by yourself?
So for GS, I prepared by myself. I prepared through the books, and for chemistry, since I am not BSc, so I took coaching for chemistry. Okay.
अच्छा, केमिस्ट्री एज एन ऑप्शनल, तो आप उसको कितना रेट करेंगे? यूजुअली जितना भी हम देखते हैं तो मेनी ऑफ द टॉपर्स, आइदर नॉट टॉपर्स बट इन यूपीएससी वी लाइक प्रेफर टू गो फॉर द ह्यूमैनिटी सब्जेक्ट्स. Like I'm also a BTech engineer from the electronics and engineering, but when it comes to UPSC, I choose geography as my optionals because it gives me some advantage in the geography because it is semi-scientific subject, so I can correlate with the geography. So आपको कैसे लगा कि मतलब chemistry is your आपका था भी नहीं, subject नहीं था, although your BTech is from different background, but you choose for the chemistry. So वो क्या idea था, क्या आपने क्या सोच के उसको hit किया, मतलब chemistry आपको चाहिए?
So I liked it at the time of my JEE, and I had that at the back of my mind. So when I started this preparation, I got a lot of advice about PubMed, geography, and all. But I thought, why not choose chemistry? Because I will have a good interest in the subject, especially organic chemistry. I have a huge interest in that. So I think I would be able to give my 100% in this subject. That's why I chose it, based on my interest.
You just
didn't even see the previous year patterns. I just chose it based on my interest.
So if we talk about like 3 to 4 criteria to choose optional subjects, मतलब students हैं, जानना चाहते हैं कि what are those criteria by which we can choose our optional, because it's a very like tricky questions. Many of the aspirants, like if I'm talking about myself, so in the starting 2 years मैं भी काफी struggle कर रहा था कि मतलब for which optionals I should go, which optional मेरे लिए आसान होगा नहीं होगा. तो मतलब what are those 2 to 3 criteria which you tells to the aspirant कि that these 3 criteria, if you look according to these criteria, you can like choose your best optional. So what are those 3 to 4 criteria to select optional subjects?
So I think the first criteria has to be the interest. I think if you don't have any interest in that subject, you will repent choosing it. And second is the availability of sources or books from which you are going to study. If you choose a subject for which there are no good sources available, then this is not going to go anywhere. And thirdly, you should see the previous year mains question papers, and you should analyze that. You should analyze if you can attempt those questions in a good manner. You should do that. I mean, for a beginner, it will be very tough for a beginner, but still they should give it a go, I think. So these 3 criteria should be there.
Okay, Nitish, can you please share some of things which are maybe personal for you, like your family background, आपका education background. So we want to know कि आपका family background, native place, age, and what is exactly your education background a little bit. So रहा है कहाँ से आप आए हैं, so maybe they can relate themselves with you.
So I'm 26, by the way. Today is my birthday. So
congrats again, happy birthday. आपके लिए तो बहुत,
thank you.
It's a big day for you.
Yeah, thank you. And my parents are teachers in private school in the villages. I'm from the village actually in Haryana, in Rewari district. So they both are private school teachers. And my brother is right now a resident doctor in Needs. So I'm living there right now.
So you are basically from Rewari.
Yeah.
So Rewari, I would like to add you. I'm also from the same region. So मेरे को थोड़ा better idea है रेवाड़ी के side का, थोड़ा रेवाड़ी. ठीक है, तो आपका ग्रेजुएशन मतलब जो बेसिक मतलब स्कूलिंग जो था, इनिशियल डेज ऑफ द स्कूलिंग, वो रेवाड़ी के अंदर ही हुआ था?
No, actually, my primary education was in a village school in Hindi medium. After that, I did it from a nearby village, that was from village 6 to 8. And 9 to 12, I did from a school named Odisha Public School, which is in Rewari. So, and after that, B.Tech I did.
Okay, so now prelims अभी पास आ रहा है, तो मैं एक मतलब clear strategy अगर आपको बताए, मतलब aspirants को, if you want to tell a clear cut strategies कि you should stick to these points, not strategy नहीं कहूँगा मैं, prelims में जा रहे हैं कि क्या किन चीजों का उनको ध्यान रखना है, the points which they can remember to score a good mark, because maybe in the next week, in this week, maybe Sunday exam है अभी, तो क्या आप बताना चाहेंगे कि these are the points you should keep in the mind while attempting your prelims?
I think since only 4 days are left, I think people should go for good revision. The things which they should keep on revising. I mean, the things which they keep on forgetting, they should revise those things on priority, like ancient medieval history, culture. These are the things which we can. I just?
Sure.
Okay, can I just?
Sure.
Put it on silent. So, yeah. So apart from revising, I think they should revise some mock tests also, because that will give them a better idea of how they were attempting the questions in mocks, so that they can avoid those mistakes in the finals. So that they can do. Apart from that, I think calmness and eating well, that is the main thing, getting a good sleep. So that is going to be one thing.
Okay, now you are अभी मतलब we cannot say it like अभी कह तो नहीं सकते बिल्कुल, but I think you will be the IAS officer. और बहुत
लोग actually my first choice is IFS.
Okay, your first choice is IFS.
Yeah.
So I hope कि आप IFS बने, मतलब जो आपका choice आपको मिले. But many of the students want to know that what exactly your daily routine, how you de-stress yourself, and this preparation is in this preparation it's a like rock star feeling. One day you are at the very high pedestal and the next day you come down. So कैसे आप अपने आप को back करते थे to like cover that distance जो आप पहले high pedestal पे थे and the next day you come down? So कैसे आप अपने आप को back करते थे? क्या आपके पास में source of inspiration था? किस चीज को लेके आप दोबारा से hit back करते थे कि नहीं यार मुझे same momentum के साथ पढ़ना है?
So my biggest inspiration is that I have to be in the IAS. I want to become a diplomat. I follow these diplomats on social media and YouTube. I'm a huge fan of diplomacy. That is my primary motivation. And secondly, to de-stress myself, I used to watch a lot of movies, TV shows in the afternoon after I have my lunch. I used to watch it regularly and before going to sleep as well. So that kind of acts as a buffer and you don't get too much stressed. So I think that was what I used to do.
So do you have any plan B? You are focused for the UPSC, that we know. Yeah. But because it's your 5th attempt, and maybe it comes in your mind that I should have some plan B, or you are totally focused to this examination.
So this is my primary goal. I mean, this has been my primary goal. But the backup was state PCS exams, which I wanted to give. In fact, I recently gave Haryana PCS as well. So that was my backup.
Okay, Haryana PCS was your plan B?
Yeah.
Okay. Just give me a second. Okay, so this is your first competitive exam, or do you cracked any other competitive exam in your life?
Yeah, I cracked JEE Advanced in 2013 and 14 as well. So I cleared JEE Advanced. And apart from that, I think I've given UPSC only apart from that.
So in the last, I just want to ask you कि आप एक strategy क्या बताना चाहेंगे जो हमारे aspirants है, क्या उनको आप बताना चाहेंगे, क्या इस exam को लेके approach होनी चाहिए, क्या advice होगी आपकी future aspirants को लेके? So can you please tell us?
I think first step is select good sources and stick to those. Second step is revise them as many times as possible. And third is give as many mock tests as you can and revise those, because revision is more important than just giving a mock test. And apart from that, follow previous year questions. I think these are the 4 things which, if anybody does, they will easily say.
So I think you are telling about the prelims examination. What about mains, and what about mains and interview? Do we have some different approach for the mains examinations, or we can stick to this approach and we can clear the mains examination as well, or we have some different kind of strategy, different kind of approach for the mains?
I think the sources for prelims and mains are by large same, but I think the approach of studying the books that gets changed, because in prelims our focus is more on factual approach. But in mains, we will have to write subjectively. So we will have to take a broad approach and try to get an overall feel of the topic. I mean, advantages, disadvantages, introduction, conclusion. So I think we should read every topic like it is going to come in the mains exam. And how can I write a very good introduction on this based on facts or reports? And then how can I write a good body on this? And body should be break in 2 parts. And how can I write a good conclusion? That should be done. That should be done while preparing, while studying, and that should be practiced while practicing the mock test as well. So that can be done.
Okay. So can you tell me what are the different sources for your prelims examination for the different subjects, like what you follow for the history, from where you read the polity, how you manage your current affair, how you read your newspapers? So Can you please give
So
us an
for
idea कि
prelims, right?
कैसे आप इन सब चीजों को
For
for
prelims, right?
prelims. Yeah, sir.
So
For prelims.
I think I followed very standard sources. For ancient history, I followed the old NCRT by R.S. Sharma. For medieval, I followed Satish Chandra book. And for the modern history, I followed Spectrum. And for polity, Lakshmikant. And for environment, there is a book by Shankar IAS that I followed. And apart from that, for science, I used to follow current affairs. And for current affairs, I used to read the Hindu Daily. And I used to read everything in that paper. I mean, everything which is useful, especially the editorial and explained part. That I used to read extensively.
Okay. So ये जो आपने बताया that you followed some standard books like Spectrum for Modern India.
Yeah.
What exactly you follow for the geography?
Yeah. So geography, I followed 11, 12 NCERT. And apart from that, I used to cover various topics which come in the news from current affairs. So that was my start.
That was a try. Okay. So these material which you just tell us कि ये मतलब exam के अंदर में ये sufficient है for to crack the prelims examination, or we should add some other material, other book in this list which you just tell us.
I think this is sufficient. I think the focus should be more on the application part. I think everybody has almost the same knowledge. It is the application part which differs. So that is why I say that people should try to give more and more mocks and analyze their performance, because that will improve their application part. So I think this should be combined with mock tests.
So आपका CSAT के बारे में क्या ओपिनियन है, क्या सजेशन है? Because many of the aspirants वो फेल हो जाते हैं, they do very good in the GS, but when it comes to CSAT तो एकदम लुटिया डूब जाती है उनकी पूरी की पूरी. So क्या उसके लिए कुछ अलग से कुछ फोकस्ड है या उसके लिए कुछ अलग मटेरियल आपने फॉलो किया था? CSAT के लिए बेसिकली मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ, CSAT के लिए आपकी क्या एडवाइस है स्टूडेंट्स को?
I think I didn't follow anything for CSAT because I used to comfortably clear it. But if anyone has problem, then I think they can cover it through some standard books for reasoning, mathematics. I mean, there is a book by Mr. R.S. Agarwal. I think they can follow. I'm not aware of the exact sources, but there are some sources of CSAT that they can do. They can combine it. They can do it in the free time when they are feeling very bored with the GS. I think they can study CSAT sometime. So that they can do. I think balancing GS with CSAT is very necessary for the people who are unable to clear CSAT. So
yeah, ऐसा देखा गया कि maximum students who are not from the science backgrounds, उनका CSAT में थोड़ा सा होता है, गड़बड़ होता है, फिर वो बताते हैं कि सर बाकी GS में तो अच्छा हुआ है बट CSAT के अंदर में उनको लगता है उनके चांसेस कम है. तो दैट्स व्हाई आई आस्क यू कि CSAT के लिए, बट जो साइंस में रहते हैं मे बी उनका तो रहता ही है, जो साइंस बैकग्राउंड से रहते हैं उनका ये काफी ठीक होता है ये पार्ट पर्टिकुलरली स्ट्रांग.
I think the tempting part is also problematic with some people. I think they should begin with the mathematics, because there we have 100% chance, almost 100% chance of getting a question right. So they should start from maths, and then they should go to the paragraphs, passages. So I think that can be done. I think attempting part is very important in CSAT, because the time is very limited and the questions are lengthy nowadays.
ओके नीतीश, मैं एक बात आपसे और पूछना चाहता हूँ. यू जस्ट टोल्ड कि ये आपका 5th अटेम्प्ट था. सो जैसे 4 आपके अपने 4 अटेम्प्ट दिए तो डेफिनेटली आपने तैयारी की होगी, तो वो तैयारी आपकी कितनी हेल्पफुल रही, या आपने जो बताया कि आपने बिल्कुल एकदम बिगिनर से मान के अपने आप को स्टार्ट किया, तो आपने बिगिनर से स्टार्ट तो किया बट डेफिनेटली वो चीजें आपको हेल्प तो किया होगा. जो पास्ट में आपने पढ़ा था कॉन्सेप्ट उससे बैक किया, तो आपका इस बार का फोकस किस चीज पे ज्यादा था प्रीलिम्स के अंदर में, कि आपको फैक्ट्स ज्यादा एक्यूमुलेट करने हैं या आपको कॉन्सेप्ट के साथ ही स्टिक करना है?
Okay, so I think officially this is my fifth attempt, but if I have to see in terms of seriousness, this is my second attempt, 2020 and then 2020. So these are my perfect attempts. And sorry, what was the question?
ओके, नहीं मतलब आ गया जवाब, यही था बेसिकली।
Yeah, yeah.
मैं आपसे पूछना चाह रहा था कि आपको कितना हेल्प मिला है जो लास्ट के आपने अटेम्प्ट दिए हैं,
Yeah,
ठीक
yeah,
है, उससे
yeah,
कितना हेल्प मिला है आपको इस अटेम्प्ट के
yeah.
अंदर? सो मैं एक चीज और आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा, व्हेन इट कम्स टू न्यूज़पेपर और द करंट अफेयर, देयर आर द सो मेनी सोर्सेज इन द मार्केट। सो स्टूडेंट जनरली गेट कंफ्यूज्ड कि मुझे ये मैगजीन पढ़ना है, मुझे ये मैगजीन पढ़ना है। राइट नाउ देर आर लाइक दो बड़े न्यूज़पेपर हैं जो आपस में
Mm.
कॉम्पीट कर रहे हैं फॉर द
Yeah,
यूपीएससी सीएसई, वन इज द हिंदू एंड सेकंड इज द इंडियन एक्सप्रेस।
yeah.
सो स्टूडेंट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड कि मुझे ये भी करना है, मुझे ये भी करना है, एट द सेम टाइम वो ये भी करना चाहते हैं, ये भी करना चाहते हैं, बट द एंड ऑफ द डे दे गेट कंफ्यूज्ड और वो कोई भी नहीं कर पाते। तो क्या सजेशन है आपकी कि वी शुड स्टिक विद द वन न्यूज़पेपर, और we can like do it from some newspaper and some magazine or from some YouTube video? तो उस पे आप क्या सजेशन देना चाहेंगे?
As I said earlier, I think people should select a newspaper and stick to it. They should stick to it. I mean, they can shuffle if they want in 4 5 months, but I think it would be better if they stick to it. So I used to read Hindu, and apart from that, I added Economic Times during the preparation of my interview. So that I did, and I think magazines and these videos on YouTube, they can only complement. They cannot replace newspaper. That is the primary source. That is the standard source. These things can only complement those.
ओके नीतीश, नाउ आई थिंक आजकल एक सोशल मीडिया की वजह से ये जो इंटरव्यूज हैं ये बहुत लोगों तक पहुंचते हैं। सो पहले ऐसा नहीं था, बट राइट नाउ इन दिस टाइम जो गांव के बच्चे हैं वो एस्पायर करते हैं आपका इंटरव्यू देख के, कि जैसे आपने बोला था कि आप जो आपकी प्राइमरी एजुकेशन हुई थी वो गांव से हुई थी फ्रॉम द हिंदी मीडियम। सो वो अपने आप को ना बैक करते हैं कि ठीक है, अगर नीतीश ने किया है तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ, मैं भी मेरी एजुकेशन भी ऐसे हुई है। सो कैसे आप देखते हो? मुझे लगता है कि एक जो सबसे बड़ा उनके दिमाग में जो बैरियर होता है वो होता है लैंग्वेज बैरियर होता है, कि हिंदी मीडियम वर्सेस इंग्लिश मीडियम। मेजॉरिटी अगर मैं नॉर्थ इंडिया में देखूं तो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स who are preparing for the UPSC right now, पहले रेशियो था इंग्लिश मीडियम का, बट अब हिंदी मीडियम के बच्चे बहुत ज्यादा आ गए हैं जब से सोशल मीडिया का, मैं इवन आफ्टर कोरोना अगर मैं बात करना चाहूँ तो बहुत सारे हिंदी मीडियम के बच्चे आए हैं। सो कैसे आप उनको बताना चाहोगे कि लैंग्वेज इज अ बैरियर और नॉट?
I don't think language is a barrier. It is not a barrier. The fact that UPSC has given the choices shows that it is not partially. It is not partial to any one language, and there have been a large number of toppers from Hindi language as well. So I think that should be a motivating factor for those people. And I have not yet come across any person who has claimed being discriminated on the basis of language. So I think this is a propaganda or myth in the market. I really don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so according to you, language is not a barrier
No,
for
yes.
UPSC, because UPSC gives equal opportunity and it does not discriminate with any of the aspirants.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask one more question, that it's about online versus offline when we like prepare for the UPSC earlier.
Yeah.
अगर बात करूं मतलब बिफोर कोरोना, सो देयर वाज नो ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म एज सच कि जहां से हम तैयारी कर सकते हैं। मुझे बताया कि मैंने तैयारी स्टार्ट की थी फ्रॉम 2013 से मैंने स्टार्ट की थी, एंड दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम कि कोई भी उस टाइम पे यूट्यूब पे वीडियो भी नहीं होता था, मतलब आप सर्च करो एक टॉपिक पे, बट आज इतना है, आप में एक टॉपिक डालता हूं तो मतलब इतना उसके ऊपर में मेरे को कंटेंट मिल जाता है। सो क्या ये जो इतना सारा कंटेंट है ये आप इसको क्राइसिस के तरीके से देखते हो? बिकॉज क्राइसिस भी दो टाइप के होते हैं, वन जब कुछ ना हो, कंटेंट ना हो, दैट इज द क्राइसिस, एंड सेकंड क्राइसिस जो आज हम देखते हैं, बिकॉज इतना सारा कंटेंट है, वी आर नॉट एबल टू सेलेक्ट कि क्या हमारे लिए ठीक है और क्या हमारे लिए नहीं है. सो मैं चाहता हूं कि आप ऑनलाइन वर्सेस ऑफलाइन की इस लड़ाई के अंदर में आप कहां पर, आप अपनी क्या समझ रखते हो कि ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन, क्या ऑनलाइन पढ़ के हम समय बचा सकते हैं, क्या हम एक अच्छी तैयारी कर सकते हैं, क्या हमें यूट्यूब या बाकी डिफरेंट सोर्सेज हैं उनकी मदद लेनी चाहिए, और दे आर जस्ट वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम?
I think uh, I think online is as good as offline, because the people who teach in offline, that video is recorded and that in turn is getting uploaded on the platform. So I mean it is the same, but sometimes people don't have that kind of concentration in online teaching that they have in the offline. So I think for those people, I would suggest that they should go for offline. Apart from that, I think online is as good as offline. I think they should go for it.
Okay. In mains, apart from GS subjects, there are two different subject, like दो अलग होते हैं जो GS मतलब prelims से आपका relate नहीं करते. One is essay paper and second is ethics. So I would like to ask you कि क्या आपकी different उनके लिए आपका क्या approach रहा था? For essay आपने क्या, क्योंकि essay का देखते हैं तो बड़ा अतरंगी सा, मतलब ऐसे पे पूछते हैं, ठीक है, और ऐसे ही एथिक्स के अंदर में, दोनों में आपकी स्ट्रैटेजी क्या रहती है? आपको अगर मैं मतलब हम देखें तो ऐसे के लिए कोई डिफाइंड बुक नहीं है, देयर इज नो सेट ऑफ पैरामीटर, और कोई ऐसा है नहीं कि इस बुक को अगर हम पढ़ लें तो ऐसे मतलब हो सकता है, ऐसे में हम अच्छा लिख सकते हैं, और ना ही ऐसा कुछ एथिक्स के अंदर में. एथिक्स में भी केस स्टडीज आती हैं. एथिक्स तो चलो फिर भी थोड़ा कंसाइज है, थोड़ा डिफाइंड है, बट क्या आपने मतलब व्हाट डिड यू फॉलो फॉर द दिस ऐसे पेपर, एंड कैसे आपने मैनेज किया, किस प्रकार से आप करते थे, थोड़ा सा मैं उसके बारे में जानना चाहूंगा सर.
So I think it is true that GS 1, 2, 3 are very different from essay and ethics paper, because in GS 1, 2, 3 there is more a repetition of knowledge or spitting out of knowledge. But in ethics and essay, I think these are the papers where your writing skills, your art of expressing yourself, your articulation capabilities, I think those come into play. And this can only be improved by getting basic knowledge. I mean, for essay, GS knowledge is sufficient, but getting a sufficient knowledge and then practicing as many essays or case studies as you can. I think that is the strategy people should go for. And more than that, I think they should get it evaluated from their friends, or if they are giving it in some coaching. So they should read the whole analysis which they do. I think that should be done, and they should try to improve upon that. Because ultimately it is a matter of art. Because no matter how much you read the code ethics or this lexicon, it is no guarantee that you will get a good score in ethics unless you practice hard. So practice is the main thing for essay and ethics. These are the two key papers in which there is a huge difference in marks. I've not got my marks yet, but hopefully I think I'll go a decent score. So let's see.
Okay. Tell me something about your interview experience. कैसे मतलब आप गए, मतलब कितने लोग थे, कैसे आपको, क्योंकि वो जानना बहुत होता है, मतलब बहुत लोग मतलब एस्पिरेंट्स हैं वो. आज तो खैर ठीक है, अब तो मॉक इंटरव्यूज होते हैं, पहले तो बहुत ही रैंडम और अतरंगी सवाल हमें मतलब सुनने को मिलते थे कि यूपीएससी में पूछा जाता है. मैं आपके यूपीएससी इंटरव्यू के बारे में पूछना चाहता हूँ कि लाइक किस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस आपसे पूछे गए थे. Is it from your subject, like optional subject, or they are for general knowledge, GS based? So क्या था आपके सर, वो मुझे थोड़ा सा बताइए आप प्लीज.
So 60% of my interview questions were based on the foreign service, or let's say international relations, whatever is going on. 60% was based on that, starting from chairman to other members. And rest 40% was based on metallurgical and materials engineering and chemistry, and where they overlap, because there is a huge overlap between chemistry and metallurgy, like in lithium batteries, green hydrogen. So that was the whole interview. And it ran, I think it ran for 35 to 40 minutes. And I think it was a very good experience. Let's see the marks. I mean, it was a very good experience.
मतलब व्हाट अबाउट बोर्ड? बोर्ड इज सपोर्टिव और वहां पे आपको थोड़ा टेंशन दिया जाता है, थोड़ा पैनिक बटन पुश किया जाता है, और दे वर सपोर्टिव की ठीक है अगर कुछ नहीं आ रहा तो मतलब दे कि आप चिल रहिए, तो कैसा बोर्ड का आपके साथ कैसा एक्सपीरियंस था सर?
Yeah. So board was very supportive, I think. And even if you don't know a question, they will support you, give you a hint, basic hint. Let's, if you are not able to speak very clearly, they will give you a hint and you can go from that. And if it is a factual question, you can politely decline it. There's no issue about that. But if it is an opinion-based question, then obviously you will have to present your opinion in a good articulated manner.
Nitish ji, thank you once again and
Thank you, sir.
congratulations and again
Thank
happy
you, sir.
birthday. आप आज आपका
Thank you.
बर्थडे है, मतलब it's a big day
Thank
for
you.
you. Definitely
Thank
it's
you,
a big
sir.
day for you.
Thank
So
you,
आप
sir.
आए, थोड़ा सा अपनी एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर किए,
Yeah.
एंड चाहेंगे हम कि कुछ अच्छा करें आप देश के लिए, एंड जिस
Thank you,
जैसे
sir.
आज हम एस जयशंकर जी को देखते हैं तो आई होप कि कभी हम आपको भी देखेंगे।
Thank you,
थैंक
sir.
यू, थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.